To get started with JavaScript, let's talk about how we can actually save pieces of data in what we call a variable in JavaScript. So anytime we're working with a programming language, we need to be able to work with data. I went ahead and made an HTML file that references my JavaScript file, and then here is an empty JavaScript file. Now, in JavaScript, if I declare a variable, if I want to declare a variable, I can use a keyword called let. Okay, let will tell the computer that I want to save or allocate space in memory for a variable. But if I don't assign it anything, this semicolon will end a statement. If I don't assign it anything, then the data type is undefined. Okay, let's look at another data type here. If I said today is sunny equals true, this is of a Boolean data type. It's just true or false. Okay, and I can use our equal sign to assign a value to a variable. Let's look at another one. If I said let student age equals 15, that's an integer or a number. Okay. Let's look at this one here. Amount of pi remaining, 50.5%. Any number with a decimal point we call a float. Right here, if I wanted to put in text, I could put in what we call a string, and then I could type in anything I wanted in here. I could put a number as well, but that's a string data type. And then we have a couple more that we're not going to touch on too much right now, but just so that you're aware, we do have something called an array, which allows us to store a collection of data in square brackets. And then we also have something called an object, which also allows me to store multiple pieces of data in one space. So if I wanted to organize things by a specific person, I could do that. Or if I had a list of names or a list of favorite numbers or something, I could do that as well. We also have something called a function, which we're not really going to go into very much, but suffice it to say that a function is a data type in JavaScript, even though we won't go into that. Okay. Now, real quick, let's go ahead and do something with this. I'm just going to say I'm going to use alert, which actually is a function, which we'll talk about more later on. But this will allow us to actually see something in a pop-up in the browser. And so I'm just going to say alert my name, and this will grab the value of this variable and alert it in that pop-up box. Okay, so I just refresh this. Let me hit open with live server. Okay, and you can see that popped up with my name there. So we were able to successfully save pieces of data in JavaScript variables and then do something with one of those pieces of data. And then we actually referenced all of this in an HTML file for us to use it.